Let's start with what this means for the Ravens on the field. Huge blow, right, Adam?
Massive blow to the defense. You're already talking about a defense that was without its #1 cornerback in Jimmy Smith. And now you will take its best defensive lineman in Haloti Ngata, somebody who controls the run game, who gets inside pressure in the passing game, and take him out of the lineup for the rest of the regular season as the Ravens are trying to make their stretch run. It'll be up to Tim Jernigan, their rookie, to step in and try to help replace him. But you don't lose players like Haloti Ngata and Jimmy Smith and expect the defense, your defense, to perform at the same level. The Ravens are competing for a playoff spot. They're competing for the AFC North Division title, and there is no way that this defense is as formidable without Ngata.
Yeah, and you look at this from statistical, you can look at a piece of paper and say, well, it's only 32 tackles, it's 11 games. But the impact is also Darryl Smith and C.J. Mosley. Those two linebackers behind him had great seasons, great years. And he's made the reason why they've been playing so well. And now to take him out of that lineup is a big blow to the Baltimore Ravens. Big
Mark,
blow.
Can you take a moment to talk about Adderall, why so many players use it, get caught with it? What does it do?
You know, it's a simple process. You have to go through the NFL screening process to be able to be prescribed for Adderall. Every player in the league knows you cannot take Adderall. It's simple as that. But if you go through the league protocol, you can get a prescription for Adderall because it does. It helps people with ADHD. It helps people that have a hard time focusing to really dial in and focus. And there's different milligrams you can take. But it's a very simple process to get allowed to take it as long as you go through the protocol of the league office.
This has become really the drug of choice, it seems like, in the NFL. If you go back over the last few years and the number of players who have been suspended for Adderall or who have said that they've used Adderall when they've been suspended.
Well, that's the key, Adam. Let's make that distinction. The league never says what the player tests positive for. This is the player himself saying, I used Adderall.
Correct.
It's possible that it was something other than Adderall.
Well, listen, you have to go by what he's saying. And it's a plausible excuse because there have been enough players suspended in recent seasons for using Adderall for some of the benefits that Mark is talking about, the laser-like focus that it gives these players.
They have 4 games remaining, all against teams that are also fighting for playoff spots. Does this make a difference as to whether or not the Ravens are in or out in your mind?
Oh, I think it's a big difference because all those teams are knotted up there right now in the AFC North, and then the Ravens are on the road even to Miami. I think the Dolphins right now, they're probably celebrating down there in Davie, Florida, saying, wow, what a big impact this guy's going to be off that football game because now in the run game, we can do a lot more things when you take a Haloti Ngata. This is a very big impact for the Baltimore Ravens. It's a shame because they're a good team. They were in position to get back to the playoffs, but this is going to make it tougher.
And I look at week 16 and 17, two teams that run the football and like to run the football. Houston, Cleveland. When the schedule is on the line, when a playoff spot could be on the line, week 16 and 17 could decide it. That's when you're going to miss Haloti Ngata.
And how bad does Sunday's loss to the Chargers now seem? At home. Mark, how do you rally your team? How do you get your team back focused? This is the second big blow in a span of a couple of days.
Yeah, it's a tough one. You know, they've got the right coach in Harbaugh. He's done a really good job. He's been a very good coach in the National Football League since he's been in the league. I think you just grab him in and say, we're going to do our job. We're going to, you know, Tim Jernigan's going to step in. He's going to do the job to the best of his ability. You guys don't try to do too much. I think that's what happens a lot when young players sit there and say, I've got to do more now that we've lost Ngata. If you start doing that, then you start making more mistakes and the whole thing falls apart.
To me, their secondary was vulnerable, and it's shown up recently. And now they're vulnerable in the interior part of their defensive line. So they keep springing leaks on a defense that is usually very strong and very reliable.